a doodle. Everybody. How's your day? Mine was shit. I am going to be changing up my filming schedule because I am adamantly pushing this new job. Like done. I don't care what job it is. I'm even going back to nights. I'm checking that box. There's a lot of night jobs hiring for good money right now, but I didn't want to go back to 4 10-hour shifts a week and night shift, but anything is better than this. But I'm just going to take a breather through the holiday, work on my resume. I'm off Thursday and Friday. I'm putting those apps out, and hopefully next week I get a call for a new jobbo. So I'm still going to put stuff up every day, but of course moving from day shift to night shift can get a little tricky sometimes. But that's a little bit up the road. Who knows? I might find another day shift. I might get lucky. Alright, so today's mindful message is remake Happy Hollywood. All these, I've talked about it with a few people, just discussing how everything is like kind of regurgitated throughout generation after generation. And some of these are for obvious reasons. They're beloved kids movies like Disney live action. I don't really feel like that's a remake because the original ones were cartoons. It's just a different version, a people version. I don't really mind those. Most of the time they're shitty though. But just to give you an idea, just in the most recent past, just off the top of my head, I gave it 2 seconds, how many movies were remade just in the last, I want to say, year to 2 years. We have Jumanji, it's actually made twice again, Roadhouse, Garfield, The Craft, The Labyrinth, Charlie's Angels, Hocus Pocus, The Sandlot, there's a girl version now, Twister is about to come out. And those are just off the top of my head. And then you have all the, of course, action superhero movies. They all repeat. Every generation has their own Batman and Spider-Man. I don't expect that to ever go away because that's always a little boys thing. I don't blame them. It's a cash cow. There's always going to be a little boy that loves a superhero, just like all the little kids love all the Disney princesses. So I don't really mind that they redo those every generation. You know, they let them ride for a while, but you know, the old VHS tapes I watched when I was a kid probably doesn't excite these kids. So I get why they remake those. They're beloved. Like I said, the parents will watch it again with the kids to see the new version. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they've remade that one, I don't know how many fucking times. You know, it's just, and they get on these like trilogies and movie, it just doesn't seem to end. Like John Wick, the Bourne series, Narnia, Lord of the Rings. It's like movies that go on and on. Thankfully, they haven't really toyed much with the Lord of the Rings. I heard rumors though. I don't think it's a remake. I think they're like going earlier in time. I don't really mind that. It does make it a little confusing. Star Wars did that a few times. Like, just changing the story up to me is still regurgitation of the same shit. But I just feel like there's no more really free thinkers, serious creatives. Like, I can think up 8 movies in one day. Like, of course, it's going to take me a team of writers to get it down. I could probably knock out a movie in 3 weeks. It's easy to me. It comes natural. So I find it very annoying that everything is regurgitated and nobody seems to give a fuck about being original. And when they try to be original, they do it over the top, and the movie just comes out fucked up and sideways, and it doesn't make any sense because they were more focused on making an impact with people than making a good movie. Like, there used to be really, really great movies that told a really horrific fucking story, but were well done. Like Monster Ball or Monster, Boys Don't Cry. Those movies like Selena, tragic stories, but were told well, and it went over well with people. Like still to this day, some of those people watch those movies, but then you get dumbass movies where they think it's going to be this big epic thing, and it really just falls on its face. Like, then there's the creeper movies that I call creeper movies. Like, you think they're going to be stupid, and then they surprise you. Like, damn, this is a better movie than I thought. I like it when that happens, but it's so few and far between. I think the horror genre, like scary movies, has always been terrible. That's like a joke at this point. If you're like a true horror buff, like, the movies are just fucking terrible. They're terrible. Especially back in the day, you know, it's not even that they didn't have graphics, it's just like the principles and like the acting was just like shit. It's like they find the worst actors and they put them in horror films. I swear. Then you get on these kicks like 13 Reasons Why, and then or like Varsity Blues, like all these teeny bopper shows. Every generation has one. Like One Tree Hill, The OC, 90210, Melrose Place. You know, there's been a bazillion of those fucking shows. I don't feel like they're ever gonna go away. Friends. You know, there can be serious shows, like there's a show called Brothers and Sisters, a very underestimated show, especially for someone with mad siblings, that are like more dramatic, more serious. And then there's like Baby Daddy, that's completely ridiculous. You know, it could go either way, but those shows aren't ever going to go anywhere, and they usually do take well because you can relate it to the time period you're in. I don't really mind regurgitations of sitcoms as long as it's like a new, fresh concept. Like if someone was to remake Friends, which I don't think will ever happen, there's too much controversy, unless they're gonna like make all the characters kids be in it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how they would work that, but there are those untouchable shows. Like, I don't know if they could, well, they could probably do Game of Thrones again because it was absolute horse shit at the end. They probably couldn't do like SOA again, Sons of Anarchy. They could do a spin-off, but like to try to go back, there's a lot of shows that people would be like, I'm not sitting through this fucking shit, this remake. So there are some stuff that they can't, even if they wanted to. I heard they're remaking The Goonies, and I got a little pissed. Like, don't fuck with The Goonies. Okay? It's still hilarious. Little kids still take to it. Like, do you really need to change it? Well, let's get into TV shows that they regurgitate lately. We got the new Sabrina. 90210 came back for a while. Perry Mason is an old-ass show. It's now a new-ass show. Roseanne is now the Connors because they took her off her own show for having her own fucking opinion, because God forbid somebody has an opinion that doesn't fit with somebody else. MacGyver is back. Fuller House instead of Full House. It's like they do these slight twists, but really everything just comes back around again. We need free thinkers. We need funny writers. We need writers that haven't done this a million fucking times and are bored with themselves. The problem is Hollywood does not allow newcomers. They like to feed from the same pot, if you will, and it's diluting everybody's imagination and creativity because they won't open the box to people who aren't from their elite. And that's sad. You're just selling the world short because there's a million stories waiting to be told with people with great brains that work everyday jobs that never get a shot because they don't have a famous mommy or a daddy or a famous friend or a leg up. That's not how things work. It should be based on your talent. And nobody even sees the what should I call, peon? I'm a peon. Nobody even sees our work because it doesn't have a name attached to it. They won't even look at my work because I don't know anybody important. That's the way of Hollywood now, and that's why it's shit. They're stuck up their own butts, and they forgot that creativity comes from fresh and new ideas and new ways of thinking. So you can't be closed-minded and jaded and keep your circle closed, Jack.